principle of how cooperation could initiate, right, is that you could have a circumstance at one point where the real pricks get wiped out for some somewhat random reasons, and then you get a cooperative community starting. I've also read, and I don't remember who wrote about this, who suggested that over time, human beings, we really domesticated ourselves by using third-party enforcers to wipe out most of the psychopathic males. And that also might have been a contributor to the initiation of something like a cooperative tit-for-tat reciprocating community.
Exactly. So, and long before we figured out that you pay third-party enforcers by hiring them as police or something, third-party enforcers gain prestige and trust in groups. Conspicuously, that's the payoff for it. But the thing that was most remarkable there is baboons, male baboons grow up obviously in their home troop, and around puberty, they get totally itchy and they get ants in the pants and they pick up and they transfer to their adult troop, which could be next door, it could be 60 miles away. They wind up being this like snivelly little parasite-riddled kid who shows up at 5 years of working their way up the ranks and all of that. And so it's this transfer business. A decade later, when going back to look at this troop, all of the males who were there at the time of the TB outbreak and survived it because of their personality, they had long since died. All of the adult males were ones who had joined the troop since then as adolescents. They had joined in and
they were still civilized.
They had learned, we don't do stuff here like that.
Wow, that's amazing. That's really amazing.
Cultural transmission. And what became like so damn interesting to look at is how were they doing it? How were they transmitting this culture? And the best we were able to figure out, it wasn't observational. It wasn't that like these new horrible kids show up and they just watch all these other like male baboons being nice, because there's zero evidence for observational learning of any sort of cultural transmission of stuff like that. Whoever discovers that is going to be the king of non-human culture stuff. So it wasn't that. So then you wonder if there's self-selection. Like it's only the nice guys who transfer into that troop. The males typically, they spend a few months, they check out this troop, they check out that one. Maybe it was self-selective. I always call this who would choose to go to Reed College model?
Right. It's the hippie baboons.
Yeah. But as it turned out, when these new guys joined the troop, they were just as aggressive and displacing of like adolescents as adolescents showing up in any other troop. It was not self-selection. And what it was adult males were not dumping on females anywhere near as much as in the normal troop. As a result, females were much less stressed, and their hormone levels showed this. As a result, females were much more willing to chance a pro-social interaction, reaching out to someone, than they would have been in a normal troop, because the odds were better. And what you saw was in a typical troop, it would be 70 to 80 days before one of these new transfer males would be groomed by a female. In this troop...
Is that equivalent to offering a fruit?
Yes. And in this troop, instead, it was in the first week. Females were much more relaxed and were willing to take a chance. And what you saw was, like in a world in which like females were grooming you and big adult males weren't dumping on you, and you could sit under like olive trees and all of that. Over the course of the first 6 months after the transfer, these guys dropped the aggressiveness. It was not an inevitable state of them. It was a default. They defaulted in a world in which they were not stressed and dumped on, because the females weren't stressed and dumped on, because the resident adult males were nicer guys. This trickled down decrease of stress, and they would default, and 6 months into it, they were like one of the regular old like commune hippies there.